Bethesda, without a doubt, is one of the most grossly incapable, skillless, talentless companies to ever exist in the history of gaming. And no, this is not even an over exaggeration. Arguably, you could say that I'm being kinda even generous to them, considering for the last 10, 15 years, the only thing that Bethesda has been known to do when they patch a game or fix a bug is, well, it just goes like this if you don't know. Bethesda comes out with a patch, they pat themselves on the back, they write a whole blog, a whole light novel about how great they are because they decided to patch roughly 5 bugs. In the past half a year, while people are complaining that the game is barely playable without downloading a mod that fixes the game for them because Bethesda is incompetent. And you know what then that happens with that patch of 5 bug fixes? Well, typically 3 or 4 of those bug fixes, and I wish I was joking, I wish I was making this up, but this is the cold hard truth. Most of those bugs turn out to not be fixed. Most of those bugs come back after a week, or they are just flat out not fixed for the majority of people, and they somehow introduce 2 or 3 new bugs on average. Listen, this is literally the story of Starfield. Bethesda tried to fix a bug where a meteor follows you in a ship constantly and you can never get rid of it, like 3 separate times. And no one knows to this day is it still fixed because people just gave up on trying to report that it even has an issue, okay? Bethesda claimed 3 times, 3 times it fixed that bug. And fixing that bug, by the way, caused other issues. And this is a known thing for Bethesda. People fear when Bethesda updates their games. The last time they actually tried to do something good was Fallout 4 with the next gen update that completely made the game unplayable for everyone who uses a mod. And that was a year ago. That was a year ago. And Bethesda hasn't fixed that yet. They just broke the game, made it unplayable for a lot of people, and just went off into the sunset. And needless to say, Fallout 76 is not an exception. Every single time this game gets even a slight update, typically some kind of bugs pop out. But this time, it seemingly is extra funny and bad.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I did not expect to be I mean, what am I saying? Yeah, I did expect to be making this. Something disastrous always happens after a Fallout 76 update, especially here lately. Well, let's just say a Fallout 76 player figured out an exploit that they could use to
What the hell was that?
get God mode and to duplicate items and to level up quickly. I mean, real quick. And to get insane damage and many other things. Like, basically, it's a stacking exploit that you can do.
Oh, is this? Wait, this is not even sped up. Look at this.
And many other things. Like, basically, it's a
The icon is going in a normal speed, so this is like speed hacking.
stacking exploit that you can do. And they shared it on YouTube, and now many other players took advantage of that exploit, of course, to get some quick level ups and whatnot. I mean, I can't blame them, to be real with y'all, because, hey, I mean, it saves them a lot of time with leveling and whatnot. But at the same time,
you know what? I obviously don't support cheating, but when we're talking about a blatantly pay to win, no love for this game that is just meant as a cash cow to abuse the players, let them cheat. I'm completely fine with that.
it has ruined many players' experiences because, as you can see, special loadouts is currently disabled right now when you go to the punch card machine. And players' servers were crashing a lot from people using this exploit. Now, of course, this wasn't the player's intention to ruin players' experiences. I'm sure they posted it to help players, but it actually ruined quite a bit of people's experience that wasn't even doing the exploit, because when you are doing the exploit, it does crash the servers quite a bit. And yeah, that's the reason why the loadout machine is actually not working. It's disabled at the moment, which I've never seen happen ever since the loadout machine has been around. This is a first. This is history in the making. But on a real note,
it's always history in the making when Bethesda tries to improve their games.
Seriously though, the reason why the loadout machine is disabled is because the exploit involved using the loadout machine. It also involved using a lag switch and spam clicking your different builds. as well as using cola nut and the cranberry cola for XP gain. And I'm not talking about like a little bit of extra XP. It is absolutely insane how much XP.
Dude, how much is this actually? Can we tell? Does anyone know how to read this number? 3 6. Okay, so it's two 28,697,814% experience boost. Okay, it's actually less than I expected, but hilarious. And again, you kind of expect this to happen every time Bethesda updates a game.
It is absolutely insane how much XP they were showing they were getting. They were also being able to use this exploit to farm foods and aid by using the perks that make it so there's extra stuff in containers. And also this would help for infinite ammo too by stacking ammo smith. And what I mean by stacking, they were stacking them by spam clicking the different builds over and over and over with the lag switch. It seemed like it was stacking the perk effects to make it so they would help even more.
And by the way, the lag stuff with Bethesda is such an ongoing thing. They never fix it. Every Bethesda game is exploitable in some way with just a little bit of lag. I mean, we're talking about a company that actively every game they release somehow manages to tie FPS to frame rate and movement speed. Well, FPS is frame rate, but FPS to movement speed. So most Bethesda games, when you play them, if you look down and you start running, you're probably running faster than normally because your movement speed is somehow tied to the FPS value. So there you have it. That is a historic thing that has happened in a lot of Bethesda games.
More. So once they drank that cranberry cola, it would be way more beneficial than usual because the cola nut would be like stacked times 1,000 or more. So basically that cranberry cola is now benefiting you 1,000 times more than usual. You get what I'm saying? So that goes the same with the damage resistance perk cards and the ammo smith perk cards and the.
Why would you make cola with cranberry flavor? By the way, it seems kind of completely pointless.
Things you find out of extra containers and stuff like that. That's how I think this was working. And this was also able to be used on console too by just unplugging your Ethernet and replugging it. Apparently that's a method. I'm not really aware of the method, but they did mention that was a method to do.
Yes, Bethesda technology wise is roughly at the beginning of the early 2000s somehow still.
It. Which brings me to my next note. I want to get into what Bethesda said. Here's what they stated on the Bethesda Game Studios Discord. They said, "Hi everyone, we've temporarily disabled the punch card machine to address some unexpected issues affecting gameplay and server stability. The team is working on a hotfix to resolve this issue. More information."
Bro, look at these emotes. Thingies, eyes, downvote, British flag, 2 exclamation marks. I guess Artar, the emoji, flag, hearts, frowny face. Bro, people are. I mean, no one's happy with Bethesda ever. Typically, it's honestly a miracle that Bethesda even has fanboys at this point.
Follow. No, we'll be removing the additional loadout options from the shop with the reset tomorrow while we work to fix the issue. So, yeah, this is happening right now. And the developers, I'm sure, are really busy trying to get this situated because, wow, this is
Wow,
ruining a lot of
indeed.
people's experience. But at the same time, it also probably helped a lot of people, too. The ones that took advantage of this and gained massive amount of levels. Freaking crazy, right?
Now, the question is, will they do anything about the levels? Probably not. And if they're gonna do, they're probably not gonna touch the paying customers.
Right, and I'll be real, I'm a fan of glitches. Like glitches in game. If it benefits players and helps players save time, and also most importantly, if it's not affecting other players' experiences, like for instance, on a PvP game. And this isn't really a PvP game where you have to be like worrying about taking out other players. There's pacifist mode for a reason, so you won't get affected by players if they are trying to PvP you. Mainly this game is helping others, getting through the game. Like you're trying to get a raid team to go together and you're getting through the raid together. So glitches and exploits that happen in those kind of games, I'm not really.
By the way, the newest raid, I don't know if it's still a thing, but I heard that for a moment someone figured out how you can do the newest raid even with a level 4. Because there's There's like some spot where you can't be damaged or something.
Really truly against, to be real. I used to show glitches all the time back in the Destiny days. I would show people how to take out bosses really easy and raid bosses really easy, because a lot of people waste a lot of time trying to take those bosses and raid bosses down. So in the end, this is just helping people save more time in what they want to do in the game so they can enjoy the game, better. It's not really hurting anyone, but it started to hurt people because it started to crash the servers, and that's what I'm not cool with. People that didn't even want to take advantage of the glitch or do the exploit is now getting affected by it. But like I mentioned before, I feel like that's not what the player had in mind before posting it. I don't think they're like, yes, this is going to ruin the game for everyone. While they're rubbing their hands together. No, I honestly think they posted it to help people. They even pinned a comment on that video over showing the exploit, stating it wasn't their intention to brick half the game servers. My bad,
Uh,
sorry for any inconvenience caused. So they were just posting it to try to help others. Personally, I don't show how to do many glitches.
that's kind of sad, to be honest, because there is one thing that's good about Fallout 76, and that is the fact the community is pretty nice and whatnot. The game's garbage, and you should not play it, obviously. Only the super die-hard Fallout fans are playing this because it's kind of fresher than anything else that you have, honestly. But still, it's incredibly bad.
On Fallout 76. But hey, I mean, if they're in the game and they help you save time, why not take advantage of them? After all,
It's not working. Let's check that.
but on a more positive outlook over that video being posted about how to do the exploit, if anything, it helped speed up getting it out of the game. Who knows? It could have been kept a secret between, a few people, and then people would be wondering why their servers keep crashing, and also the developers wouldn't even be aware of it, wouldn't be on their radar as much, if you think about it.
Yeah, that reminds me of when Fallout 76 came out and people found a way to go into the dev room and they stole shit from it. And then the Fallout 70s, Bethesda banned people and sent them emails, and they were said, okay, if you would write a 1,000 word essay about how bad it is cheating and how you regret your choices, and you're gonna explain to us how and what you did to break the game, we're gonna let you back in. It's just Bethesda truly is one of the most lowest, stupidest, incapable, feeble companies out there.
But anyways, that's enough about that topic. Let's go ahead and get into this other thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is broken perk cards. As you can see, plenty of people are upset about that as well. There's plenty of posts about it right now. As you can see here, someone posted perk cards not working like they should. Has anybody noticed that the perk cards are not working like they should be? I have Nerd Rage and go down to 5% health. The buff is still at 21% rather than 80. I also think this is why my Ricochet isn't proccing a lot like it used to before the update, as I believe the perk cards and the stats on your character are not connecting with one another.
Like, how do you do this? How do you make an update and you break everything? That's my question. That is really my question. How do you honestly do that? Anyway, that was Riffle Gaming. 10 out of 10. Bye.